let's see.
Oh, they can run asphalt right through there if they needed to,
Yeah,
or stone or whatever, because they're on the class whatever highways.
Thursday at 10 o'clock.
Is what?
MDOT meeting.
You get it?
Okay. About 30 seconds.
Minutes and times minutes.
All set. Loaded. Good afternoon. I'd like to call the Green Lake Township Board of Trustees regular meeting to order on February 10th, 2026 at 5:30 p.m. Judy, can you do a roll call?
West.
Yeah.
Kramer here. Biganowski.
Yep.
Merrick.
Here.
McDonald.
Here.
And Radke.
Here. Okay, before we go on to the next item, if you have any smart devices or anything that makes noise, if you could put them on vibrate or mute, that'd be greatly appreciated. With that being said, could we please rise for the pledge? I pledge allegiance to the flag
of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
Thank you.
Oh, we can start the meeting now if Mr. Caskey's here.
Oh, we put a call out. The next item would be the approval of the agenda. Is there any board member wishing to add, remove, or anything from the agenda?
I'd like to add the library budget audit to that discussion.
Under discussion or new business?
And new business, no, discussion.
Okay. Anything else? If not, I would entertain a motion to approve the agenda with the addition of the library under the discussion.
So moved.
McDonald,
Second.
supported by Kramer. Any discussion? All in favor indicate by saying aye.
Aye.
Those opposed say no. Motion carried. Next item is the approval of the consent agenda, which contains minutes of January 13th, 2026, treasurer's reports, and bills. Is there any member of the audience wishing to remove an item from the consent agenda? Any member of staff? Any member of this board? Hearing none, I would entertain a motion to approve the consent agenda as presented.
So moved.
Motion by Baganowski, supported by West. Any discussion? Hearing none, roll call.
McDonald.
Yes.
West.
Yes.
Merrick.
Yes.
Biganowski.
Yes.
Excuse me. Kramer, yes. And Radke.
Yes, motion carries, 6-0. Next item, the declaration of conflict of interest. Any board member have any declaration of conflict of interest on any agenda item? Hearing none, we'll move on. We are blessed with the presence of the Grand Traverse County Road Commission, Board Commissioner, and Manager. Did I say that correctly? Close enough? Okay. If you could, rise to the podium and brief us, if you will.
Good evening. Thought I'd start out talking a little bit about this winter so far. Obviously, it's been a pretty good winter. Our crews are definitely feeling it. This last Sunday was the first time that we did not have crews in since Christmas. We had trucks, I think they had 60 days straight of run times. Some of our trucks are 24-hour trucks. Driver gets in, get open, and the driver gets back out and run 12-hour shifts. So some of those trucks went almost like 60 days straight. So our equipment's definitely kind of in bad shape right now. We're really glad to have this little bit of break here to get the trucks in and start working on them. With that said, obviously our salt usage is way up, our sand, our blades, our fuel usage, our overtime. Not quite sure where that's gonna play out at the end of the year, but we definitely know it's gonna be an impact to the budget. We're still in good shape. We still have salt, we still have sand, we still have blades. I know there's been some other road commissions locally talking about, they ran out of salt and different things like that. So we're still in good shape. We actually just placed, it's called our backup salt, their late order salt. You can hold it at the same price, so you don't have to get new pricing after the end of the year from my deal. Some of that salt's starting to come in, so we're gonna get the barn filled back up and be ready to go here. Just a couple of interesting numbers. We look at it for Grand Traverse. It's right at the airport, the National Weather Service. We do a lot with them. Just had a meeting with them today. They do, updates and different things like that. So far this year, they had us at 101 inches. At this time last year, we were at 70 inches. And then just for kind of a reference, we usually average 100 inches over the last several years. Now that's in Traverse City, a little further out that you get, where you guys are at. I think you're seeing more snow than this. So I actually talked to the Benzie County Road Commission manager today, and he said they're at about 120 inches. So I think you're probably a little more out that way this year. And right par with what we saw in Traverse, they were at 120 inches this time last year. Or for the entire year, excuse me. So that's kind of where that's at. Talk a little bit about planning next year. We're starting to work on, we're always trying to be that season ahead, looking at it for 2026. We were actually talking about it with the staff, kind of looking where we're going to go and what we're doing. We're actually doing some tree work out here right now. We're out on Long Lake cutting some trees. But we're thinking the closer that we get to the state's MDOT project there with doing the roundabout, if we come out here and start doing any big ditching projects, high ridging projects, and people are already trying to find detoured routes, we're probably going to cause quite the mess. So we're thinking maybe we should kind of stay out of the area for the summer and not make it worse than it already is going to be with MDOT's project there, and then come back next year and jump back in and do some more high ridging and ditching work. Right now, we got quite a few bids out. Our gravel road brine is out, our long line painting, chip seals, guardrail, all those are going to be back in yet this month, so we're going to be in good shape here for going into the new summer. So I want to talk a little bit about some funding. I know everybody's probably heard that there's the new road funding bill, and we were actually counting on quite a bit of that funding coming through. They actually told us the budget for it. And you might have heard a little bit recently, the marijuana funds are in question. So we actually just received an email, and they said, don't count on those funds coming. So they told us originally to budget for them. Now they're saying don't budget for them. So the gas tax is still going to be there. It hasn't started coming in yet, or actually our funding is less than it was right now, but it's supposed to start to catch up here in like March, April. So the other thing we're pretty excited about is we've never done this before. We did a county-wide car count last fall. We got all that information in, and we're hoping here at the end of the month we're gonna be able to put that out. And what we did is, right now we have it, originally this first posting we're gonna have, it's at least all the townships, they're gonna be in different color. Every asphalt road is gonna have a car count on it, so you can actually take a look at where your car counts are. What's kind of interesting about that, when you start to look at it, you can start to see where traffic's actually flowing, you see where traffic's coming into our county at and where it's going, if you actually follow it all the way through. Our goal is eventually, on that website, it'll be an individual tab for each township to go there, and you'll be able to see your car counts. We have that data where we drove all the roads, it's called that PCI data. We want to overlay that so you can take a look at that and say, what is the worst road in this township with the highest car volume? You can actually start to build some plans off that. With this data, there's roads that, maybe it made sense 20 years ago that was the primary road, but people aren't driving that road necessarily anymore. They're driving on a local road. So we're asking if there's any roads that you think that are in your township that should be flipped primary to local. We're gonna try to go to our board here before the end of the year, and all 13 townships look and say, hey, there's 3 or 4 roads in each township that are worth taking a look at, and I think we should swap these around. We have to go through the MPO now to get that all done, but I think if there's really a good case when we start looking at some road projects, that it makes sense to switch these roads around. We're seeing some really large numbers of, those over in Acme Township like 2 weeks ago when we looked at a road they were thinking about. The primary road had 100 cars on it, and the local road had over 1,000 cars on it. That totally makes sense to switch those around. So, something to look at. Something else that came up, I was at Mayfield Township last night, and the question came up, and they were actually thinking that Green Lake was a good place to talk about this at, was if you guys had a policy for solar farms. So I was at a training about a month ago up in Harbor Springs, They did a big presentation on a lot of solar farms are coming in downstate, and they're having a lot of issues when they do. And they're really tearing the roads up really, really bad when they come in with these solar farms. And so I asked them, I would ask you guys if you did have a policy, and they were curious about maybe sharing something, so. That's all I had for tonight, but any questions, I'm definitely available.
Let's see, where do I start? Obviously, you might have heard rumor that MDOT's doing some construction out here, adding a lane and a traffic circle and such. And with last year's experience, the detours that MDOT put out there were not there. They were not followed to 100% of the time, I'm gonna put it that way. Well, quite a bit went through residential subdivisions, then they migrated towards Long Lake Road, down to Secor, Silver Lake Road area there. Is there something that we could do at this point in time to perhaps entice MDOT to designate alternate detour routes, so there could be action taken from the Grand Traverse County Road Commission to address the onslaught or the heavier impact of traffic for that type of activity, for this season only? I mean, it's a temporary.
Sure. So we have asked MDOT about that. They're stating that they did a pretty good study and they are comfortable with their route, their detours. But they did see some, so they are open for discussions. Right now, they're looking at, and we requested this several times, putting a light in at Silver Lake and Secor. We're hopeful they'll put a temporary light in there. That was definitely a safety hazard there. So, hoping to hear something back on that one soon.
Okay, real good. Any other questions from this board? Okay, with that, I greatly appreciate your updates, and I'm sure we'll be reaching out, because we do have some questions on some accumulated funds. Can it be used for brining? Can it be used for other improvements that we accumulated over the last couple of years, from my understanding?
Sure.
There's
Sounds
been a
great.
change of understanding in regards to how that money could be used, so I look forward to meeting with you.
Definitely. Thank you.
Very good, sir.
Wait, I got one question. The report we get every month, it's sent to us. Could somebody take the time to do the location of all the pictures you send to us?
We'll put subtitles on the pictures.
Yeah.
Have Kylie do it or something?
Yeah, 'cause we don't know all the areas, it'd be nice.
Gotcha. I can definitely look into that.
Thanks.
Thank you, sir.
Thank you.
Road Commissioner, have anything to add?
No, thank you. I just wanted to piggyback off.
Microphone. We also go on the internet like you guys do.
Well, hi there, Chasm, Grand Traverse County Road Commissioner. Just piggybacking off what Dan was talking about regarding the routes for the MDOT construction project. Obviously, our ask is this time for them to actually designate South Long Lake Road and Secor Road as a designated route because of the volume of traffic that we experienced last season in the summer. And when we are asking the MDOT to install a traffic light at the intersection of Secor and Silver Lake Road, it would be really nice if we can have the support of the township here to support us in that ask. My thought is the more the townships that have a stake in it, in this project, are, supporting us with our MDOT ask, maybe it would convince MDOT to move forward with it and designate that route, because the amount of traffic we experienced on that road, that tears that road up, and that's a significant cost to the road commission to then do the repair work. So thank you for that.
Very good, sir. Just with an update, I am meeting with MDOT this Thursday at their large conference room from 10 to noon to discuss the summer's project, to go over some of the water main, utilities, and the timing. I've heard rumor as of last Thursday night when I talked to MDOT Medzar, I think his name was, that there was going to be a complete shutdown of the intersection for about up to 30 days. maybe 2 weeks, but it could be up to 30 days. The intersection, meaning interlocking intersection there. And I think Judy has something to follow up on as far as the,
Yep, we've been in, MDOT has been in touch with our office, and they want to schedule a community meeting for, from 4 to 6 p.m., and it's going to be either the week of March 13th through the 16th, is that what it is?
somewhere in that area there. Nothing's
Excuse me.
confirmed.
And so they haven't gotten back with me with a definite time yet and date, but we'll go ahead and we will, watch our website, watch the Facebook page, because we will go ahead and get it posted as soon as we have a definite. I think they were going to give me a call back by the end of this week to schedule it. It's going to be held here at the Golden Fellowship Hall.
So Marv, the complete shutdown is a totally new thing that they've never ever mentioned before, right?
It was a surprise. I think that was stated Thursday night with, I believe Jason and Roy were in attendance at that meeting as well. And was it Medzar from the MDOT? Mel's, okay. Department of Transportation individual. Yeah, that came as a little surprised, and
I mean, they're saying definitely, they're saying they're thinking about it, what are they just saying?
they say it's going to happen, but they just don't know the timeline.
The last meeting we had with them, they were like, we're gonna keep one lane of traffic continuously through there.
Yep.
So, probably like every other project they've got, it's gonna be subject to change.
Yeah, and the timing of the construction when it starts is all weather dependent. There is no definitive date, so I'm keeping my ears pressed with them as well.
So then really, if that area is going to be closed down and they're going to be putting a light at Secor and West Silver Lake Road,
Hopefully, if we can convince
then that's going
them.
to encourage people to use my subdivision again.
Yep.
But a toll road, yeah, unfortunately, we're gonna try to avoid that. I did make a suggestion that they reevaluate their placement of signage, because I believe Caskey's brought that forward last season, and a little bit more advanced warning of what they're coming upon. So, yeah, so we'll see what I can come up with Thursday, and what they'll report out at our third week in March sometime, public input session. Well, I don't know if it's a public input session, it's a public presentation of the construction schedule for this year.
He said that he's going to have picture boards out. They're going to have their employees here answering any questions that the residents have, any concerns. I don't think it's going to be like a formal type meeting like this, but you'll be able to ask questions and get some updates on what their plans are for the project.
Okay. I just want to reiterate that the flashing light is a request. It has not been, or a traffic light at Secor and Silver Lake Road. I mean, we are trying to step up and try to get this as fluid as possible, as safe as possible, and done as quick as possible, so.
You know, in the past, the road commission and the townships have had a joint resolution, or everyone did the same resolution to request. That gives a little bit of weight to all the townships are in agreement versus just the boards going, hey, we'd like you to. So if you guys wanted to put together a resolution and present it to the different townships that'd be affected, that may help accomplish what we're looking for.
Now, we'll approach the road commission and our adjoining townships and see what we can come together.
Because I think the road commission is who put the resolution together. I can't remember when that was. I was on the board back then.
So, anything else? Thank you. Next, I see we have our community police officer, Deputy Nofke.
Good evening, everyone. Quick update on the ATM. I can't give out too much info, but the info that I have is the suspect or suspects are not from this area. We actually tracked them to the state of Texas. That news should be forthcoming in the coming weeks. We just got to tie up a few odds and ends and that info will probably become public, and obviously the assistance with other authorities now being a federal crime, and they're out of state, but they're not from this area, no ties to even the stolen truck, purely random, but modern technology worked in our favor. Another thing I'm working on is kind of a decent fraud with a contractor's down in Indiana. He's been frauding people out, I think they're up to 25, and I have at least one person out here in this township, so he might not ever make it to the state of Michigan, but we're seeing what we can do for that, our township resident, on at least getting some type of restitution back. That's pretty much all I have, and now that we're looking like we're gonna finally have dry roads here in the coming week with 50 on the weekend.
Yeah, I mean, 2 weeks ago, we were playing Where's the Road when we were driving.
Right. I, first time in my career in a Charger, I actually got stuck. So hopefully in the near future, I'll have a Durango that sits a little higher. But this is kind of a wild winter.
Any questions? Thank you. Oh,
Yes.
Sherry?
Were they tied to that one that was in Traverse City?
You mean Manistee?
Was it Manistee?
Yep.
Okay.
Nope, not, that was totally unrelated. Sounds like that one, it's another growing trend of, instead of smashing and grabbing, they're using like a computerized debit card, which has a virus on it, and then it fries the ATM. But it sounds like, my guess is that it alarmed the ATM, which that's how they're able to get caught, by contacting us. So totally unrelated,
Okay.
just coincidence.
Very good, thank you.
Thank you.
Do you want that getting stuff coming in?
Absolutely.
Okay, I see Chief Case. We have your written reports. Is there anything you wish to add?
Yep, I've got a couple things. So we did have a structure fire on the township in the last month. Yeah, a little challenging. The crews did a great job on initial attack. It was about 8 degrees that evening. So weather was definitely a hampering factor. There was also an associated criminal charge and an arrest associated with that, and we're still in the investigation portion of that. That individual's been arraigned by the prosecutor at this time. The engine continues to be transitioned over. Just worked this afternoon on scheduling some training so we can get some pump training on the new truck, and targeting hopefully by the end of the month to have it in a service. And then part of the board packet that we'll go over later, but I did attend the award ceremony from the Grand Traverse Band of Ottawa and Chippewa Indians, and we were the recipients of a $30,000 grant. So I did go to the resort and was present for that. So it's the only other thing I had.
So what's engine 4 repairs for $2,700?
I believe that was repairing the door. We had a roll-up door that was locked and we couldn't get into it. Had a mechanical failure, so they had to do some fabrication to access it and then do a repair.
That's the door that covers the equipment stuff?
Yeah, yep,
That's crazy.
yeah.
Yeah, get the equipment and can't get to it.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's a bad thing. And I'd like to thank you for giving the heads up. You were out doing a process of the fire, and you were approached and somewhat berated in that regards there for doing your job and trying to find the cause and et cetera of that nature there. So I just urge anybody and everybody, you know, to have patience with the EMS, police, and fire. They have a job to do. If you could not interfere with them performing their jobs, it'd be greatly appreciated. They can get in and get out as quickly as possible, but they still have a job they have to do. Anything else, Chief?
No, thank you.
Well, of course, Sherry.
Sherry, she just got all kinds of questions.
So close.
Is that the first grant we ever were able to get from the band?
No, they paid for a thermal camera for our drone.
It's been
The
since you were
drone.
here. You're doing great. I
Yeah, that's the
appreciate it.
second one that we've gotten, and we'll continue the amount of support that they provide to public safety is pretty impressive. We tied for the 4th highest amount of that award though, so that's pretty much the
Pretty
max.
good
So
deal, I thought,
yeah,
yes.
definitely.
Pretty good deal.
Thank you.
Okay. I don't see any other reports. Let's see, we can move on to public comment. This is an opportunity for the public to direct their questions and statements to this board. I would ask that you rise, go to the podium, state your name and address of residence, and keep it under 3 minutes. And again, this is public comment. We are not going to engage in discussion. This is your time to speak. Is there any member of the public wishing to exercise said right? Well, at least 30 days. Oh.
Greg Caskey Senior, 11717 US 31. I see they've already left. Unfortunately, I was a couple minutes late getting here. I agree, we need to contact every township around us that normally comes through here, goes down Long Lake trying to get through. We need to get a hold of every one of them and have them get on the bandwagon to support the road changes, temporary road changes that we want to put into place for the people's safety. The last time was an absolute fiasco, and we were lucky. As far as the meeting, if DOT is gonna come here and they're not gonna take questions from the public, tell them don't bother. Because the last time they were here was an absolute farce, and all that did was just enrage everybody that was there, myself included. So, and the only other thing, if I see somebody giving the fire department
Anybody have any questions, comments? Of course, Sherry, you're on a roll tonight.
Here she is.
How long is Plant Moran gonna be on the payroll?
I have no answer for that. We have an agreement with them to help us with accounting services. It's been recommended by several people to have a separate accounting firm assist with accounting questions we may have instead of going to our auditors for that. That is entirely up to the board if we want to continue using them for if we got a question about how do we account for certain things.
But are they still solving problems? That's where I'm at. I'm not talking about long term, I'm talking about how long before they're gonna finish what we hired them for and be done.
On the next agenda item, there is a letter from Plant Moran that says that they are working with the supervisor.
Okay, Marv,
Might want to wait till that item.
all right.
Any other questions? Dave?
So you gave us these nutty reports, quick tax disbursement, and there's a 18-pager, there's a 17-pager, there's a 41-pager.
Yep.
What are these things? I mean,
Those are reports that I put into the Excel spreadsheet to come up with the numbers necessary to pay out the tax disbursements and to double check to make sure that the amounts are correct.
Most of them look like they're the same thing.
Pretty close. The dates are a little bit different on them. One starts on July 1st, goes through the current tax season to the collection date. The other one starts just for that current collection period.
How many times do you disperse to all these entities that get
Twice a
money?
month,
Twice a month?
1st and the 15th, give or take.
All right.
What, so the first and the 15th, you're writing checks just those days that you mark?
Approximately the 1st and the 15th are the times that I'm dispersed. I collect those time frames and I write checks to disperse the monies collected on behalf of the other taxing authorities.
But isn't like 95% of it collected in the end of the year period and not so much during the year?
We have a contract with the county that specifies what I'm supposed to pay out.
I know, but are you collecting any taxes?
Absolutely,
But is it tiny amounts or is it?
absolutely.
Okay, so it's just petty junk, right?
Couple $1,000 to some agencies, 20,000 to others.
No, what you're collecting, I'm asking what you're collecting. Isn't 95% of the property taxes paid at the end of the year?
Nope,
What's the percentage?
I couldn't tell you the percentage. I'm really busy the first week that the bills go out. I'm busy the week before the final payment is due. I'm busy before the end of the year. So first week in July, right around September 15th, right around December 31st, right around December 1st, right around February 14th are my really busy times. There's a steady flow of traffic coming into the office throughout the year, or between July and March.
All right, so in your lead-in, you said that when you first got here, there was 2 systems, BSNA and QuickBooks,
Correct?
and now we're BSNA and Excel.
I use simply BSNA for collection, disbursement, and accounting of the monies. I use the Excel spreadsheet to do the mathematical calculations for me to show what needs to be paid out to the different taxing authorities. It's not simply read this number and put it on a form. If you see, that's why I provided all the information so you could see it.
Well, you didn't give us this Excel spreadsheet. That's not all the information, so that's what I'm saying. So you said that we should have been using cash receipting. Is that a BSNA module?
Cash receipting is through BSNA.
And now we're using it?
That's what we started using this year, I believe.
Okay, but somehow you still need to go through Excel to get the numbers to write the check?
Correct.
Does that mean that BSNA isn't quite a complete system? What's that mean?
So BSNA gives me the numbers. I put it into the Excel spreadsheet to double check that the numbers are correct, that there's no mapping issues, in that all the accounts are getting paid appropriately, and I didn't fat finger the keyboard somewhere.
But Excel is a complete, you fill it in. It's not
Correct.
doing
I
anything.
take the information from BSNA,
Yeah.
I put it into the Excel spreadsheet. It does the mathematical calculations versus me pulling out an abacus or a calculator or a piece of paper and a pencil to determine how much money goes to each taxing authority. For example, the county doesn't just get the county's money. The county gets, stand by one.
You're doing one check to the county and then they're breaking it up again?
Stand by one. So Grand Traverse County gets SET money, state education monies, for the 3 different school districts. They get county monies, they get road commission money, animal control money, Commission on Aging money, Commission on Aging Senior Center, conservation, veterans.
Yeah, it's in here like 20 times, but again, why does that have to hit a Excel spreadsheet is what I'm asking. If
Because
BSNA
it's
is-
much more accurate and easy than me typing into a calculator that doesn't have the opportunity for this spreadsheet to do all the
So that's what I'm asking.
verification.
Does the county get one check for all those
Yes.
items you just said? And
This
then
is-
they disperse it again?
This is what I send to them with
Okay.
that check with the total number at the bottom.
Okay,
This is my property tax disbursement that goes to Grand Traverse County.
all right, so did BSNA produce that?
They produce the numbers that I put into the
No, who
spreadsheet.
produced the sheet you just pointed at?
I did.
No, that's
With
not a
plan-
BSNA thing?
That is not, that is the final sheet that comes out of all the information I collect from BSNA and put into the Excel spreadsheet to generate a form that makes it really simple for the county to know where the money's coming from
I
and
like
for
the
me.
form, I'm asking you, is that an Excel spreadsheet or is that a
Yes.
BSNA product?
Excel,
Right, so your Excel sheet must be 20 sheets deep.
at least.
Okay.
And BSNA doesn't carry it, you're physically hand carrying the numbers from BSA to Excel?
Correct.
Who's double checking for the errors?
I'm not sure what you're asking, Sherry, but I put it in. I put the numbers in. I make sure that the number,
Flip-flop $20,000 and make it $2,000. Who's double checking to make sure the numbers?
the county, the people who I had dispersed to, at the end of the year, we do a final reconciliation of all the taxing authorities. The reason I pull 3 different reports and put it into the Excel spreadsheet is it gives the opportunity for me to make sure the numbers are accurate. Would you like to come in and double check my numbers?
So
You're
on the
welcome to.
Excels-
My office is open to any of the board members to come in at any time, as I've said, since I've taken office, and I don't think anyone's taken me up on it yet.
I've been there once, didn't make sense what we were discussing today, I would say.
So what I'm gathering, what I hear you saying is the BSNA prints out a report, the disbursement report. You take those numbers, allocate it into an Excel spreadsheet, and if the Excel spreadsheet matches the BSNA numbers, you're good to go. And if the numbers in the Excel spreadsheet don't correlate, then you go back and review to ensure you didn't, what was your term, fat finger anything.
Correct.
So that's how you verify the BSNA quick disbursement report, to double check before you cut a check to the county that covers all those millages that are being collected.
Correct.
Twice a month, okay.
It doesn't make any sense, that's circular.
So
You
isn't
take the
there-
numbers out of here, put them in here to make sure they match this. Well, of course they're supposed to, because you just took them from there.
So does BSNA give you a breakdown as to how much money goes to each entity, or do you have to figure that out?
Those numbers are provided in the packet I put together, which is what the quick disbursement form does. By pulling up the general ledger and matching numbers, make sure that numbers that came out of the right accounts and there was no mapping issues, which is what happened back, which led us to having to have Plant Moran here back in 2024 tax season, I believe it was.
All right, so take me to your Excel spreadsheet for Grand Traverse County, which you just read off to me. Does that supposed to match up to one of these quick tax disbursements?
It should
sheets that you also gave?
it should match up for the quick tax disbursement for the or for the,
All right, tell me what page number that's on, because I want to look at it. Yeah, is it one of the reports that's 17 pages, 18 pages, or 41 pages?
it's going to be the one with the shortest time frame on there that I highlighted, which will be not the 7/1, but it'll be the
So that'd be the 17.
1/16 through 1/31.
All right, so that's the 17-page report. What page is Grand Traverse County, so I can look at both of them at the same time?
That's the fun part about this, is it depends on what else is getting paid at that time. If there's an IFT paid, if there was
So look at
commercial
page
forest paid.
8 of 17, is that the right one?
So if you look at page 1 of 17, that is the all property, the ad valorem and special acts for real and personal property.
Yeah,
So page 1 is where most of that information comes from.
okay, well, none of those numbers are on the spreadsheet as they are here. None of them match, not a single one. Well, there's the road commission did, look at that. And it doesn't make sense that BSNA would do 99% of the work, but not give you the end product that you want. Is that what you're saying that happens?
That's exactly what I'm saying is happening, because they don't give me the total amount owed to the county. They break down the individual,
Yeah, but the page 1 of 17 has totals at the bottom, so they are totaling.
which, the totals on the bottom of what, sir?
Page 1 of 17.
I'm on page 1 of 17.
It has
This
totals
says
at the
total of the above,
Yeah,
the $278,943, that's all taxing authorities.
that's what I was asking. Which page of the 1 of 17 is just the county?
And there's not just the county, they give me
So you
a
have to
break.
actually pick them out of this
Correct.
long list and put them into,
That's exactly what I'm saying.
that's nuts.
Correct. Welcome to the life of accounting. Wonder how errors could happen.
All right, I got no more questions.
Pat?
As I read the
Sherry?
report, it said there was some money missing.
Yeah, so the other, that would be the next agenda item, Sherry.
Yeah, well,
Well, I'm sorry I'm rushing you.
I'm trying to handle one thing at a time.
yep. So any other questions on the bank rec issues and all that.
So
Okay.
are we, I know last month you said that the tax one is still behind,
Correct.
but the others are caught up?
Correct.
Okay.
Do we have to approve them, Stephanie? Because it's usually come in the board packet.
I don't think the taxes come in the board packet.
So with that, any other? Now we'll move on to the next one, Sherry. This next one, been asking for a executive summary of the project update that's been taking place since, well, Jill was here for 4 months. She has her badge still. And that's when we engaged with Plant Moran sometime in June, yeah. So this is from June to about 2 weeks ago. It was included in the board packet. It's, I reached out to follow up because we've been asking for the last couple months. And this is what they've put together, was a 1.5 page summary.
This is not dated or signed. This is garbage. What, this is nuts. No date, no sign, it's just,
This is their executive summary that they emailed to me about 2 weeks ago. This is the information.
well, I'm just telling you, this is unsatisfactory. This is not, they charge us whatever, tens of thousands of dollars, or the last bill was $5,700.
It's about 41,000 and change year to date,
All right,
or project to date.
this is unacceptable.
So
There's gotta be-
I
is
will
there
ask
another
him
one
for a
coming?
detailed report if that's what you're looking for.
It's
Overall, this is overreaching because it was a leading question that Sherry asked before it was time, is on this particular subject, is how long we're gonna keep them on. And this is what, the progress they achieved, which is 4 bullet points, and we have, what, 12.5 other bullet points that are requiring attention. The next step is that they'll work through myself, I'm the one that got to sign the contract with them, to see what our board wants specifically done.
No, we asked you, when is Plant Moran gonna give us their final report, and you kept saying not yet. So we're all waiting for not yet, but this can't be it.
You're right, because it's not final, Dave. This is executive summary to date.
All right.
They are not done, so they cannot give a final
Why don't you
report.
say that? This is a temporary, something they gave you just to shut us up for another month.
Because they're not done yet.
All right.
So I gave
All right.
a request for a report to date since June, I think Jill pointed out for me. Well, it's also on
If
the
you're telling
letter.
me that a longer, more comprehensive report is eventually gonna arrive someday before Christmas, I guess I'll take that as an answer, because I have to. Is that the answer?
The answer is when they're done.
And it's gonna be a comprehensive report.
Or if the board chooses to stop the relationship with them and move on, then
Yeah.
we will get it.
Is there a special person with Plant Moran that's handling this, or is it just getting shifted from
No.
Johnny to Susie to?
We have one individual that meets with Andy via Zoom, typically on Fridays.
We've been meeting on disbursements. I'm drawing a blank on her name because that's not my strong point.
Courtney.
Remember?
Courtney.
Courtney.
Yes. Yes, we have one individual that does that, and we have Carolyn, that oversees the project. Courtney's work is reviewed by Caroline and sent forward in that regards there.
So what this lady has done for us, could you have hired somebody in-house to do it?
If somebody had the knowledge that they do that I'm lacking, probably.
At a lower rate, maybe? Because we could have had them for a year at what we paid Plant Moran almost.
Yes.
So what Judy said, we're never gonna get a definitive final report as long as they're on the payroll? That doesn't make any sense. That is not acceptable.
I think you're just gonna keep seeing reports like this
Yeah.
until they're final.
But all the work they did in 2025 is over with. They ought to be able to report on that.
I agree
So
100%.
Marv, I guess I'd like you to try to get something a little more detailed and not put off into the next ether 2 years or whatever. Can you do that?
I can make that request with these dozen and a half items requiring attention.
This is.
You
this
don't
is-
care about that?
No, this is not detail what you did for your money.
They haven't done anything. This is what,
Yes, they have.
That came out wrong.
If they were working
Came
since
out.
June, they're
Yes.
not working for free. We paid them 41,000 for
Well,
something.
Marv
Yeah.
did request that. They just have not, they
I
have
know,
not
that's
forwarded it to us.
unacceptable. They work for us. We hired them to do a job. They can at least
Exactly.
report on what they did. In an executive summary, this is so high level. No.
I suspect that they want to be through the end of this tax year to see that the tax account comes out to where it's supposed to be, which will be $1,000 in the account as per what the board directed.
Well, they
And
can do
at
that too.
at that point, I believe that we should have almost everything, if not everything, corrected at that point.
So we're talking 4 or 5 months yet.
And we're talking probably March or April.
Okay.
Is this something that your deputy can help you with, or do you think it's above her knowledge? I mean, she was a previous treasurer with a
I
clean
cannot speak
record.
for her, but I think she has some knowledge that I don't, but there are some things that I want, that we are trying to put in place to ensure that this doesn't happen again. And I think once this project is done, the amount of help, or once this tax year is done, we're finalized with the county, I believe the amount of help that we need from Platte Moran will go down drastically to maybe an hour or two a month, if that.
You gave us 7 pages of process, which has got to be the gold that they gave you. That's process stuff that, if you do that, you won't screw anything up, right? I mean, that's the whole point of doing this, right?
That is what we're hoping, correct.
All right, well, you seem to have some confidence in the,
I have a lot of confidence in it,
all
but
right, so I just want the dang report from Plant Moran that we paid for, Marv. That's unacceptable to give us this high-level, vague, no detail, no sign, no letterhead, no date. That's nonsense. That's not how it's done.
because they're not done. There's still 4 or 5 months worth of work that I can see looking down through the items requiring attention. Reconciliations, missing deposits, stale dated banks, banking codes, monthly recs by the 15th, the
Every one
daily
of these
cash.
line items should have 2 pages behind it of what they found, what the next step is, and whatever. This is totally unacceptable.
Very
You hire a
good.
professional, especially a CPA firm, and they give you this junk, that's not acceptable.
Very good. If you could write out what,
I'm just telling you, more detail and not wait till the end. So we want a full, complete report to date. Yes, they can give us another one when they're done.
I'll put that on my schedule.
Sure.
So, anything else? Sherry, I think you got both your questions answered?
I forgot them already.
you had asked about a missing deposit.
Oh,
Yeah.
yes.
Oh, that's right.
Till the reconciliation's done, I can't answer that.
Okay.
Okay, anything else?
Oh, one.
Pat?
Yeah, looks like there's 10 recommendations, and then they're talking about, they're gonna get together with you to determine the best path forward. So, might you have a recommendation at the next meeting or the meeting after, once you meet with them and kind of refine what needs to be done down, I guess? What's to be done with them and what's not to be done with them?
Yes. I will ensure that's included in the statement.
So Pat, are you agreeing with me that this is not sufficient to work off of for us?
Well, it's not detailed.
So it's not signed, it's not dated, it's not anything.
I'll forward the email that has the date and the signature on it. We have your written.
Still awake.
We have your written request for the cardiac monitor. Expound on that a little bit with the synopsis level.
Yep, so, the recommendation for the board is we have one of our cardiac monitors that's, that wasn't purchased new by us. I'm not sure if that's the one that we received through, Munson, or if that was the one that was purchased when we went ALS, but it's end of life. Its serial number comes back as, basically obsolete. They don't make the monitor. They, we still get maintenance done on the other one, so it's end of life. So that was part of the grant. So
Any other discussion? Hearing none. Roll call, please.
Kramer, yes. Biganowski.
Yes.
West.
Yes.
Merrick.
Yes.
McDonald.
Yes.
And Radke.
Yes. Motion carried.
thank you.
Good luck, Chief. Thank you. The next item would be a budget amendment for the emergency services. Judy, if you could.
So, the way that the financing worked out for the new engine was, the engine was ready prior to the bond council being able to issue us a check. So therefore, per our accountant/auditor, they wanted us to run it through our budget system so that we have a kind of a paper trail for them. Authorized us to go ahead and pay the full $718,100 out of the capital outlay. When we did the budget this year, we did not plan on paying for the whole $718,000. So this is just kind of putting, the money has been received now, but now our budget is upside down. So this is just kind of taking the money out of the fund balance, putting the budget back to where it should be, and then we should be good to go.
Everybody? Pat?
I'm looking, I have a copy of probably a proposed budget from last year. It's showing 205 as the fire department, and this is showing 207. Does that change?
205 is the,
Counting from, I wasn't sure if that was reached out to
Yep.
plan or not.
so I'll make the motion.
Motion by Kramer, supported by
Second.
West, to amend the emergency services budget as presented with the change from 207 to 205. Any discussion? Roll call it.
Merrick,
Yes.
McDonald,
Yes.
Biganowski,
Yes.
Kramer, yes, West,
Yes.
and Radke.
Yes, motion carries. The next item on our agenda is annually the Michigan Township Association sends out principles for governance, and it was included in our packet this year. We've signed in years past. So it's just shows our signature with the date that we are to govern in an ethical and lawful manner.
When did we last sign this?
Last year.
Did we reject it or sign it last time?
We signed it last
No,
time.
we've
Does it
signed
look the
it.
same? Does it change at all?
Yeah, they're making you do it every year, on a yearly
Yeah.
basis
I mean,
now.
the verbiage and everything's the
It's
same.
the same, yes.
All right. I'm sure I voted against it last year. 'cause
I'm
it's
sure you
not
did.
No.
enforceable.
May have.
Dave, I think you voted yes.
No, I didn't.
That'd be the first time David vote yes on an unenforceable.
So we'll.
I'll pass it around for everybody
would
to sign.
entertain,
Oh, is this the only one you have?
I would entertain a motion to adopt and sign.
So moved.
Second.
I heard Merrick and McDonald, motion support. All in favor indicate by saying aye.
Aye.
Aye. Those opposed say no.
No.
5-1, motion carries.
He's
So-
consistent.
And currently Judy is spreading around the signature for the principle of governance from the Michigan Township Association. I do believe that completes our new business agenda items. The next items that we have on our agenda would be under discussion. Again, the emergency services millage renewals for 2026. Chief Case and I did have some conversations. We'll have some more here in the near future, depending on the direction that this board wants to go in.
Well, you have the language set, you just don't have the numbers set, right?
Correct. At this point, we don't have the estimated the estimated revenue from that change, which we'll have to bring back here, which we won't have for another month or so.
The due date, we have to have it into the county May 12th,
The ballot language with complete.
with the
Yes.
board motions and everything done.
But did we decide whether to go for the rollback or not go for the rollback? That's a separate issue, right?
Right, all these are all gonna be needing a motion to proceed with them or not to proceed.
All right, so you're gonna present us with two versions when the time comes, with the rollback and one without the rollback, correct?
The one without the rollback, we won't
Dave's got library.
Yes, the next item I have is library.
Well, I indicated to you guys earlier that, we did this long-term lease with the library, and, there's two kind of libraries, a member library and a satellite or whatever it is, and ours is a standalone, has been since, whatever, God was a corporal, and we wanted to make sure that they could support themselves and be a live entity into the future, so we put in our long-term lease that they had to do a budget every year, show it to us, so we could see what they're doing,
Bless you.
and have an audit. And every year, we have to fight them for both of those things, and now they give us the 2024 audit and a budget that I don't know what it's for, but I noticed there's nothing in the budget for maintaining the building. There's no capital improvement reserves for roofs, windows, carpets, parking lots. So are they actually making it? I mean, we're supposed to be the watchdog on that, and we kind of set them off on their merry way, and I don't know, I think it's not right. That they should be reserving for future and not running themselves into the ground. So again, I wanted to discuss it. I'm not, it looks like their 2024 audit that they gave us came through in March last year. So maybe their 2025 is gonna come through real quick here, but we should be getting the current one, not the old one. Did they give us the same one they gave us last time? And again, their budget is, pretty crude. It has building maintenance in it, interior and exterior, but no reserves for furnaces and carpet and things that a normal entity would put in there. So I'm concerned about it. I want to know if anybody else is concerned about it, because we're the watchdog. We put it in there to monitor it. If we're not going to monitor it, what's the point?
I was just trying to make the list of all-encompassing on this here.
Are they
We
making
need
it?
more than 7 days a week.
Can they go forward?
I'll reach back out to them in that regards there, and see how they are working with the Tattle, corporate, and see what their obligations or their commitment to sustaining this, if there is such. Because I know there is some agreements there where the Tattle does.
If there's another source that we don't know about that's not in their budget, that'd be good to know.
Okay, yep, so I'll reach out and see if we can get that, or I'll have somebody reach out. See
Ask
if,
what the plan is when they wear out their carpet, or they need to restripe the parking lot, because it's not in their budget.
yeah, on their sidewalk, the roof, windows, furnace, striping, okay. Anybody else have any questions or comments or follow-up in that regards on that?
Do we have any authority over how they run their budget? I mean, are they, they don't report to us, it's not like they're like the DDA that we have oversight. This is just something you guys put in.
I don't think we
Before I
can
was on
revoke
the-
the lease, no. But you guys give them $6,000 every year, and we can stop doing that.
So it's more just for our information than,
It was-
we have no financial responsibility for how they operate that building.
I don't think so.
For
Okay.
96 more years.
We just want to make sure, the idea from what I understand when I was in the audience when you guys were putting this together, was you wanted to make sure that you could see that they were going to be viable into the
Viable.
future for our peace of mind. Because if they don't have the money and they fold up, we get a
Well,
really
we made them do
nice
that before we
building.
even signed the lease, and to project into the future that you can carry yourself. And
Yes.
they kind of did demonstrate that.
Yep, because that way it doesn't result into something that happened with this building here. Because the library started the construction of it, they ran out of money, the township became obligated to finish it with the additions to the south there. So early on, Dave made the comment that, okay, you guys are building a real nice building, can you afford to keep it? Because we don't want to take that over.
So it's because of what happened here years ago that led to that, wanted to have an oversight.
If they're gonna
was
go
part of
belly
it.
up, they're gonna go belly up on their own and just hand us the building back and the lease back. That could happen, and, 100-year lease is ridiculous, but, with the way technology's going, there's not gonna be a brick and mortar library much longer. It's just not gonna happen. We're gonna all have a chip in our head or something with everything on it.
Thank you.
Okay, very good. Any other?
Oh,
Pat?
just, when this came up a few months ago, and the issue always comes up, can we do this legally? So I did some research on that, to try and figure out what's the most legal way for us to contract with the library as far as what townships can do. Looks like the most legal way for us to do it is to contract for recreational services. And recreation is not defined in the statute, so, I mean, the dictionary says anything other than work, so any of their programs, you know, that we contract to contribute to, you know, as long as they can come close to being, you know,
So
as
Pat,
long as they're fun, I think we're in the clear. Making them for children doesn't get us anywhere legally. It might make us feel better, but,
Don't we have a contract our
I
attorneys
forgot
put
that we had
together?
a contract the last couple of years. Judy sent it to me, I forgot we had it. I think it's adequate. I just forgot about it.
It went
There
to
is
the whole board actually got it.
Yeah.
It was reviewed by our attorney firm, and they were fine with how it was drawn up.
Yeah.
I will say that that library probably is the busiest library that there is around in Grand Traverse County. And they've got a lot of great children's programs. I do feel good about the township contributing to those programs. I know I've had my kids and grandkids, I know Marv's grandkids participate. During the summer months, it's nice because the library is full every day. They're doing zoos and they're doing, you know, playtime and different things. I actually feel better about this donation than I do, or contribution, than I do Boom Boom Club. I feel like the community is actually benefiting from the library getting the money that we're giving them.
Okay, any other?
oh, just one last, on this, as far as the contracting goes, if we wanted to really play it safe, because the library doesn't restrict their programs to township residents, so maybe next year we might want to throw in there that, you know, we want the money spread out amongst the programs, you know, roughly on par with township residency or something
On a
along
percentage
those
type thing?
lines. So, yeah,
They have their attendance that they
Putting
take.
it on your list.
Yes.
That would be something I would recommend you run past our legal, because
Yeah.
Pat's not our attorney.
Well, it's something that we can check in just to ensure. In that regards, there, doesn't hurt to ask. The other discussion I wanted to take is this board authorized me to enter into an agreement with MDOT for roughly $450,000 way back when we had the two individuals from MDOT here. We were able to mediate that down to $135,000, give or take.
132.
Oh, $132,000, give or take.
Even cheaper.
So we did enter that, and we had to make that deposit to MDOT for the water system. I've been engaged with our engineer, MDOT's engineers, and management, both here locally and out of Lansing. And they were anticipating that we would run water line that would be dry. Our fire hydrants would be dry. And I'm not sure that was, why would we want to run dry water lines? So we went back and forth with them, we meaning I, and working with our engineer and Mr. Parath, who is a contracted engineer with MDOT, I believe. Or maybe he's an employee, I don't recall. There was 1,040 feet of water pipe missing to connect it to a wet water pipe. We were able to negotiate with the contractor that's installing this at a rate of $73 a foot, plus $7,200 for for an additional fire hydrant and its connections.
It's a quarter mile. What quarter mile leg is missing? The Toms
From
to the
Tom's
corner?
to Interlocking Corners,
All right.
to the south side of Blarney Castle, the fuel station there. So we talked with the contractor, just got notice today, hasn't been inked, because if we're gonna deal with a contractor on MDOT project, we have to have MDOT approval so they can run it concurrently.
We can't do that on our own? We have to be part of the cahoots there?
Yes, we have to, they have to be out of,
Even off the property, off the scope of the project?
yes. So I'm still debating whether we do ductile iron or HDPE pipe. They will not budge to have our water pipe to be inside of another pipe to protect it under the intersection. Even though we've proven that it's been done throughout Grand Traverse County.
So what's
This
the
is a
132
Lansing
get
project.
us? The 132 price gets us what kind of pipe?
HDPE underneath the road.
And they
And then we
finally went
can,
with it?
then we can do the C900 plastic pipe. What's that?
He's on the phone.
Oh, okay, I'm sorry, I just heard something. So yes, so now we're working with the road commission and MDOT to see if we can move those crossings back a little further into the county road right-of-way where we can do it with solid pipe. But the engineering cost is gonna offset that HDPE or, pipe at minimum. So why don't we just run with it? So that's what we're working on. So there'll probably be another request. We have money in, that we projected in capital improvements to cover the additional, $73 a foot, running foot, for making it a wet water line with hydrants active. And that will be in the next 4 to 6 months. I presume that will be coming down, unless they can move quicker.
So they get to pick the contractor too?
The contractor's already been picked, yes. So, and it's,
Thought Roy was gonna do it. You can't run pipe, Roy?
he needs an excavator. But, so that's where we're at now. I just wanted to give you a heads up. That's coming down the pipe, to be able to connect it to a water system that we've already been permitted by Eagle to have. MDOT put a stopgap in there, so we're working to proceed with that.
Sounds like you're doing real good, Marv.
Yes, thank you, Dave. It's on the list.
Is that, $73 a foot? So now that's $73,000 plus $7,200 added to this 132, so we're looking at over $200,000 already.
Yes.
And
The
what-
first number was 435.
That wasn't the first number though, when they come in and explained it to us, or talked to us, our engineer gal.
Yeah, well, that was Gloria Frazier, and somehow, some way, it doubled her estimate.
Exactly.
And we don't know how they got it to double.
Neither do they.
We run their numbers and, you guys are off 125,000.
What else are they gonna come around with and add to it?
At this point in time, nothing, because the contract's already been let and signed.
So we're stuck at
Well, we're-
$250,000.
132,000, and it's up to us do we want to have dry hydrants and dry pipe?
That's crazy.
Thank you. So that would be the addition to run the 1,040 or 1,080 feet.
1,009,
Yeah, something of that nature there.
This isn't California, Marv? We don't have dry hydrants?
We could, I mean, they're suggesting
pretty.
that we can.
I'm sure the chief would love that. Pull up to a hydrant and there's no water,
Which one
ever.
should we use today?
Yeah, so that's what we're looking at there, in that regards there. And a little update, just an FYI, Public Act 54 or 56, don't quote me on the number. The Land Division Act has been signed into law. Currently, you get 4 divisions for the first 10, 1 additional lot for each whole 10 acres thereafter. Effective March 27th, 2027, the number goes from 4 for the first 10 acres to 10 for the first 10 acres. That's another thing that's coming down. And the discussion is to have postmark for taxes. So that would circumvent our resolution that we don't use postmark. That has to be received in the office. And the other thing that it's a bipartisan activity right now down in Lansing is to work on property tax reduction or elimination. They're trying to figure out a way to remove property taxes, and they're gonna have to put it someplace else. But that's a bipartisan action they're taking at this point in time, and that's one of their first things they're looking at.
The 4 to 10 splits, has Bill been working on it to see how it might affect the zoning ordinance on our lot sizes?
Well, our zoning still stands, so if it's 5 acres, it's 5
It
acres.
doesn't change a thing as far as zoning.
Yeah,
That's
but if
just-
it's a, R1 district, 40 acres, that does have a pretty good impact. Yes, Bill's aware of it, along with our Jason, in regards to the land division committee that we have to ensure that the land division act of the state is complied with. I'm not gonna repeat that.
Yeah, that's little lots.
Yeah, so it doesn't impact that. There is someone bringing up that we cannot, townships and cities and villages cannot require any lots larger than 5,000 square feet.
Cannot require larger than 5,000 square.
Yes, that was a bill of, that was a package presented, 11 different changes to land use, building codes and fire codes. And fortunate enough, it was held off last year, did not get any traction, but they're trying to bring that back up as well. So just for information in that regards there. I'll have a further update this Friday afternoon, because I'll be down in Lansing Thursday to Friday afternoon. Anything else? Any other discussions?
In the packet, there was, and you told me about this, that the state park is wavering on the route for our trail, and is it gonna screw up the National Guard's work when they come here? Is that in jeopardy, or you think you got it handled?
It's in jeopardy at this point in time. The state park has assembled a planning process for the advancements in the future of the Interlochen State Park campground. We do have an signed easement to go across the state park campground property, but the location can be altered as needed. And at this point in time, the state park has said, well, we're not gonna do a whole lot of designation anywhere within that boundary. The last I heard, Pat may have a different update, I'm not sure. But the state park was, okay, we're not
But
gonna.
the first leg where the National Guard's gonna work, is it state park property, was supposed to be?
No, it was Interlochen Center of the Arts' first easement, state park, and then Interlochen
So
Center
the
of the
National
Arts'
Guard's
second
first
easement.
round is not in jeopardy, it might be the second round that's in, to go to the next leg?
Yes,
Okay, and we got how much time of that, a whole nother year?
that I made a request to Mr. Roth to find out what the programming schedule is for that.
So we don't even know.
No, we do not have an idea. I'm not aware of anything of that nature there. And John's supposed to be getting back with me by Friday afternoon in that regards there. So, and I just had some correspondence Gene and I did with the Michigan National Guard. There's a couple questions they have. I filled out the Department of Defense paperwork. So there's some follow-up questions we gotta get with Eagle and soil erosion.
So who do we know that can put pressure on these state park people that have made some fabulous decisions in the last 2 years, one after another about closing and dumb stuff, to tell them we need to delineate this trail? I mean, has Roth got enough juju?
Well, between Roth and DeMoose, and I was hoping to have, Representative Coffia involved, but I have not heard hiding her hair out of that in that regards there. And I am reaching out to Michelle Holdinga, the Wexford district there, as well, if she has some interest over here in Mayfield Township, and which impacts Green Lake Township. So I'm trying to use that link to get her on board as well.
Let's do that, because this has been in the planning for years and years. To get juked at the last minute on their slowness and dumbness is, it's just, I mean, that's how government works apparently, but that's crap.
Yep, so.
We finally get funding, we finally get people working on it, and they go, oh, we're changing our mind, we haven't made up our mind yet.
Yes. So I'm meeting with Michigan National Guard later this month to see what we can do without certain things they want, like Eagle. Between, I just forgot, Park Lane and the road south of that. I can't think of the name. The closest points. Yes, Vagabond, thank you, Pat. We get within 397 feet of Green Lake. So we need an Eagle permit on that, they believe. This DOD, National Guard, believes they need that. So I'm working to see if we can go through Grand Traverse County soil erosion, because we have, a road between us and the lake, along with a row of houses that are between the road and the lake. So we're trying to work around that as well.
And someone thinks they're gonna build a Hartman-Hammond bridge. We can't even build a mosquito trail without all this bureaucracy and months and years of BS. Oh my gosh.
Yes. It's on my list, Dave. It's
Well, you're good at this, Marv.
He couldn't bring the list in, it's too.
You're really,
yeah.
beating
So
your head against the wall is your specialty.
yes, it seems to be. I'm pretty good at it. Any other discussion? Any correspondence? Pat?
Just along those same lines, the state park is going to be taking public input. They have a survey online, they're gonna be having public meetings, so anyone that favors the trail going through there, if you could put in, a dig for that trail, the more people that say, hey, that's a good idea, the more likely they are to approve it.
Let us know when they announce where that is. Or when
It's already on. I'll forward you the link to that where you can go on and take that survey. I've already done it 17 times. No, I'm just kidding. Just kidding.
I think it's ironic they're doing their master planning after they did all these park improvements. Oh, we're done with everything we're gonna do, so now we'll do the master plan.
So, anything else, Pat?
Nope.
Another update that Pat brought to my attention, we're still working with the tree individual. I have not heard anything back from the individual since last meeting. And we are looking at what we can do to accommodate not cutting trees down on somebody else's property to validate our airport as how it's done today. We may have to alter the layout of the length of the runways to accommodate not going on somebody else's property.
Did the private property owner already say no?
We haven't got that far yet. I haven't met with the manager. But we're looking at options, so when we approach.
Don't even go to option 2 if option A works. He says, yeah, cut the top of the tree off, we're done.
Right, but we haven't met with the manager yet, so I still got time.
All right.
So I'm trying to think outside the box, and if it was me, I didn't want you guys on my property.
Right.
You a tree hugger, Marv?
He likes his
That's,
property.
I like my privacy and property. Other than that, I have nothing else. Any other board member? Now we get to engage in public comment, second round, same rules apply. I would ask that you rise, go to the podium, state your name and address of residence, and limit your comments to myself, to this board, not greater than 3 minutes. We're gonna have ladies first this time. No, you're missing a step. There you go.
Jill Coverdale, 5648 Runwood Way. Just a few comments, questions, observations. Number one, I think the board should be receiving a simple report each month regarding the tax account. It could be simply, here's the receipts we collected from the 1st to the 15th. Here are the checks that we wrote. Those two should match. You know, I went through and ticked and tied a lot of stuff with my little Post-it note things on this mega long report, and I appreciate the information Andy provided, but we really need to have the board have oversight over those checks that are dispersed and to ensure that they're being done timely, because I know there was an agreement with the county. I thought it was 3 days after the 15th and the last day of the month. Maybe that's changed. I Googled it, and I think just the overall state one is 10 days, but I thought Grand Traverse was 3 days, if I recall. So I think, and I can work with Andy to do a simple little thing that the board could get. You know, I think it's no different than you get the report of all the checks that Judy runs every month. This is the biggest expenditure disbursement of the township. Secondly, I don't know what in the world the engagement letter looked like with Plant, but they went way out of scope from what I thought they were hired to do. I thought they were really brought in to truly get that tax account reconciled. You know, when I looked at their quote-unquote executive summary, they're talking about stale-dated checks. Well, that's in a general account. That's not in the tax account. And they also were talking about clean up the names and the bank accounts in BS&A. They went way outside of what they were doing, and unless it was narrowly defined of this is what we want you to do, they're going to just rack up the billable hours, and that's probably why we're at 40-some thousand now. So that was kind of a concern to me. I don't know if Trent and Plant came to agreement. I know many months ago there was still some discussion going on of certain things Trent wasn't sure he agreed with. So I don't know if that discussion ever happened. And then probably my bigger concern was the June 30th, 2025 balance in that tax account did by Trent and his company, or is that still not reconciled? Because the board agreed that all we wanted in it was $1,000. You know, so if indeed that was reconciled, we should have had entries then done this year to get that balance down to 1,000. What I saw in the information given in the packet didn't tie out to that at all, so I'm concerned about that. I can help you on the question, Andy, about the online payments, about how to better reconcile that, because I know we worked a while before I decided I needed to quit. Pardon me?
General comments, I mean, if you can work with Andy
Yeah, I'll do
on
that.
the side.
Yeah,
please.
and then just a final comment regarding the library. When the library was built, the fundraising that occurred from the public was outstanding. You know I contributed dollars towards that. I think if there was ever a need for sustainability there, the public would stand up and support the library. I don't think I'd have one concern about would they be solvent in the future.
Thank you. I believe we had another gentleman that was willing to go up to the podium. He's making up for lost time.
Greg Caskey Sr., 11717 US 31. First, I'd like to thank the board for all of the work you're working on. It's commendable. The other thing, since information is in so many thousand different places, if you could put the link for the state park survey on the Facebook page and the web page, so people, you know, and put a note on there, please go in here and tell them what you think of wanting the trail. It would be greatly appreciated. Thank you.
Any other public comment? Wow. Okay, you sure?
Don't be begging people.
I
What
would
did you do
entertain a
with Scott?
motion
That's
to
not him.
adjourn this meeting at 7:02.
So moved.
Support. All in favor, say aye. Aye. Those opposed? Say no.